You like that?
I really hate it, and you know it.
You like that?
Not a bit.
Hey everybody, it is Sunday. That means it is the Sunday live haul. And of course today is Mother's Day. So any of you mothers out there, happy Mother's Day. Happy Mother's Day to you.
Thank you.
This one over here.
Happy Mother's Day.
You wouldn't know it because she looks like she's maybe pushing 25 herself, but she does have a daughter.
Flattery will get you everywhere.
I know, right? I don't have any kids other than fur babies, but Victoria does have a daughter. So happy Mother's Day to you.
Thank you.
We did go out.
I have a 25-year-old daughter.
She does. She's like a few years younger than me, you know, so not really, guys.
No.
I just really enjoy antagonizing Victoria. Anyway, so I'm here with Vicky, aka Victoria, aka LV Pink Panther, aka my fiance. And
you remembered your ring this week.
I do have my ring this week, guys. I'm not in trouble this time. So we did go out for a Mother's Day brunch. We have some friends here in town who have a daughter who's adorable. She's the cutest little, 4-year-old?
She's 4. Her name is Ariella. And
yes.
For whatever reason, most of my friends, our friends here in town, either have adult children or no children. So she is the only little in town in my circle of friends, and she's 4, and she's fantastic. So her mom and dad and I have been going out for Mother's Day for the past 3 years, and this year I had Katie join us, and we had a really nice time.
It was very fun. Yeah, it was great, and we had so much fun that like all of a sudden 2 hours had gone by, and we were like, oh, we got to get home.
Hurry to get home for 45 minutes to get ready for the show.
Yeah, so we raced home. Actually, we got home and we only had like 30 minutes. Which
we got home like 20 minutes ago.
Yeah, so we had to like gather everything up. But don't worry, guys, it's going to be an amazing show. We put so much time and thought.
It's so packed full.
We're
true. Well prepared.
But yeah, we are dressed up for our Mother's Day brunch. Victoria has a very nice purple polka dot dress on. I've got my shirt and tie with my awesome, you can see it, I have this really awesome paper clip. It looks like a paper clip, and it actually is a tie clip. And I like it. I got it in my Sprezza box. You know, they have like all those subscription boxes. They have a lot of them for like women, like
yeah,
I don't know, what are the makeup ones and all those different things. Yeah, I'm not really, obviously, I don't, well, I do wear makeup, but I don't get excited. It's like, it's more like, it does its job, and that's all it does. Like, I buy it, and that's it. I don't need to go out sampling.
You're not a girly girl again.
I've been wearing the same eyeshadow since I was 18, so it's been a while. But anyway, I get the Sprezza box, which is like a menswear one, and I actually really love it because I get a different tie every month. And okay, it's starting to sound like maybe they're like my sponsor or something, but completely not. But every month I get a tie, I get a pair of socks, I get things like these tie clips. I've got a watch before. I have this really nice watch that I wear whenever usually when I dress up nice, which I didn't do today. I forgot my watch. Different pins, like lapel pins. I love it. It's like $28 a month, and it's usually like a good $80 value, if not more. The watch I got was like a $100 watch. It's pretty cool. So anyway, that's what I'm wearing.
Not exciting to me, but the makeup boxes, I do like those.
And the little girl Ariella that we go with, she is fascinated by the fact that I wear ties, and so
she's a girl that wears ties, so she thinks she is the coolest thing because she's a girl that wears ties.
And at some point, I think I must have told her that I wear ties for her, because she talks about it, about how Miss Katie wears ties and she only wears ties for her. So I kind of have to wear a tie every time I go anywhere where I know I'm going to see Ariella, because I like to, you know, I'll feed into that.
She's adorable. And her birthday was last week or 2 weeks ago, and we had this fancy schmancy high tea party.
Oh, so cute.
Which was adorable. She wore a hat and gloves and a dress and everything. And Miss Katie bought her very own little girl tie.
I did. It was a cute little purple plaid tie.
It was
very cute.
And she was fascinated. She wouldn't take it off, wanted to wear it to bed and in the bathtub.
Apparently she went home and took a bath in her new tie. So.
Yeah. So anyway, thanks. Melissa says she loves my hair. Thank you. This is what it looks like when I actually first do it. So this is
so it's like that really
it's nice and bright and vibrant, and then I let it fade for a while. Yeah, so it looks super bright. It looks like it's a different color. It's really not. It just looks like this every 8 weeks or so.
Yeah.
So thanks.
Oh, and also, so make sure to leave a tie in your car just in case you run into them. Good idea, Dan. Good idea.
Good call.
I should do that.
Smart.
Very smart. So I also wanted to say, so again, it is Mother's Day. I wanted to say that we are actually going on a trip We're leaving Tuesday morning, and we're going to be gone for a whole week. We're going to go back east to Rhode Island, which is where Vicky is from. I'm going to be meeting a bunch of the family and friends that I haven't met yet, and some people that I have met already. But we are going to be away. But we are going to do our best to keep things moving on the channel. At some point, I really want us to go do some thrift shopping. And back when Vicky was living in Rhode Island, she was selling on eBay, but she was doing more collectibles and antiques.
Only collectibles and antiques. So I've never thrifted back home.
She wasn't a thrifter until she came here to Vegas. So I'm like, I want to go thrifting when we were there. So we're going to take we're going to take like one day or afternoon or something like that, or morning, whatever, and do some thrifting there. There's like a few savers in the area. So we will do this show next Sunday. I just can't promise it's going to be at the same time because we do have some things. There are some events that we are going to be attending, and it'll be 5 o'clock Eastern time. But we're not sure that we're going to be able to do it. We'll let you guys know. Advance. But just so you know, we will be doing the show next Sunday, and it'll be a fun, extra special show because we'll be in Rhode Island, and we'll be showing you finds that we score over in Rhode Island. So it should be super fun, like the New England area. So that should be super fun. Also, that means that on Wednesday, when we do our Boss Up and live show, that will probably also, there's a good chance that will be at a different time as well. But again, we will keep everybody posted. But we're hoping also Teresa is actually in Washington, D.C. right now, and she's going to be doing all kinds of fun and exciting stuff representing us, eBay sellers. She's representing eBay sellers in Washington, D.C. this week. She's going to be meeting with representatives, like people, members of Congress and stuff like that, to talk about things that are important to us as eBay sellers. So that's super exciting. So what I'm hoping, I'm really hoping that somehow we can coordinate it to be able to have her part of the Boss Up and List live show. So we can check in with her and see what's happening.
It may not be a full hour, but maybe hopefully we can coordinate so that we can have, so Teresa will be able to talk because, we love to hear from her and hear what she's doing. And this kind of stuff is important to all of us. And I'm super proud of her that she was chosen by eBay and flown out there, and treated with class and all that kind of stuff.
Though? You know why?
Because she's pretty awesome.
Because she's a boss.
That's true.
Because she's an awesome boss. She's bossing up. And that's what happens, guys. When you take care of business and you put yourself out there and you work really hard, all kinds of amazing things can happen. And people take notice of that. And clearly the leadership at eBay has taken notice of that in Teresa, and they've had her do all kinds of things in the past. She's done speaking events and stuff like that. So they really see her as a leader in this community, as they should.
Representation of eBay and online sellers in general. She's a great representation of the brand.
Yep. So I cannot think of anyone else that I would rather have representing us, representing myself when it comes to going to Washington for their annual fly-in that they do. So I'm pretty excited about it. And hopefully we will be able to hear from her while she's there. If we don't, then I will make sure to have her on later so that we can talk about everything that happened and we can get the inside scoop of how that went. Hey, Cheryl, and happy Mother's Day to all from Michael. All right, so we've got a bunch of stuff. Man, seriously, I had a hard time figuring out. We tried to do like 4 solds from last week each. Honestly, like I had a hard time narrowing them down. I mean, obviously I have more than 4 solds in the week, but just looking at kind of like ones that I wanted to highlight, I really had a hard time narrowing it down. So I actually have a few extra because they're ones that I want to call back to that like maybe I've shown in hauls before, or I feel like they are some sort of thing that can give you guys some information about things to sell. So we actually have some really cool stuff, and you have some awesome stuff that like
I have some really good. Yeah, I've had a couple of things that sold from some previous hauls. I had a little bit of a difficult week this week. I know we talked about the web interpret program last week, the third-party listing program. I had some real difficulty with that. The bottom line for me is that I opted out and I ended it. Katie, on the other hand, has had excellent luck with the program. So
it's kind of crazy because
it's very weird
because it kind of it brought her store kind of to a screeching halt. Or at least it seems that it has. But finally, she got it taken care of, and now her sales are back busting out like crazy.
Right. The minute,
for me, it's like, and again, it's been a huge hassle. So I will again say, do not sign up for it. I would not recommend you sign up for it.
Right.
But for some reason, for me, it has my international sales have like exploded this week. So now I will say my domestic sales are down. But when I add together all the additional international sales with the domestic ones, I've had like a crazy good week. So
right, with no final value fees, with no all that kind of stuff. So yeah,
it does suck though, because when I go to my seller hub, it's like my numbers look awful because it doesn't show any of those sales that sold on other, because they're basically selling on like eBay France, eBay Canada, eBay Australia, eBay Great Britain, eBay UK or whatever. And so it's like, so all of those sales, they show up in my eBay seller hub for orders to go out. Like they show up there so I can ship them, obviously, but they don't get included in any of my numbers. So when I go look at I won't even show it. I am not going to show it to you guys because it's a little rough. It looks like I'm barely selling anything, or it looks like I'm at like 50% of what I would normally sell. So, I mean, I don't know. But overall, I've done really well, and I did some local sales. So
for me, as soon as I turned it off and they finally ended everything, it took them about 3 days to end everything. As soon as everything was ended yesterday, my sales skyrocketed. So I've been selling something every 20 minutes since all day yesterday, all day today. So was there a correlation?
I don't know. All right, Vicki, I need to have intervention with you.
I keep banging.
She's very fidgety.
I'm very fidgety.
Very bangy. And this needs to stop, okay? Do I need to put mitts on your hands or like tie your hands down? No. All right, I don't know. Big Drift Growth. I don't know if Allison's already gone, but she said to have a great show. She's got to go start the fire for their Mother's Day cookout. Nothing says Mother's Day better than a wiener roast. And I would agree. I'd have to have that wiener roast without the bun because we are doing the keto thing.
Yep.
But I do like me some hot dogs. Especially I really like what kind I like? Hebrew Nationals. Those are delicious. Melissa Carver wanted to say, wanted to say to Vicki, update on the Vera Bradley rolling duffel that she asked you about.
Yes.
We just sold an hour ago for $125 and they paid for shipping.
Nice. Good sale. Good sale.
Very, very good sale.
I remember us talking somewhere between 75 and 100. So you priced it even higher and it sold higher. So
yay! Hey,
I always like to hear that.
I am a big proponent of pricing things high. Now, pricing things high, it depends. If it's something that is unique, I'm all about pricing things high.
That was a discontinued style and pattern, and it was like new without tags, or she thought it might have been new. So yeah, it was awesome.
Now, if you're selling an item that there's like 50 other ones,
and she paid $10 for it. See, it's even better. $125, and they paid for shipping, and she paid $10 for it at a garage sale. So it was about 6 weeks ago or so that we talked about it. So it didn't even take that long to sell. So yay, good sale.
Very, very cool. All right, let's go into our solds. I'm going to go ahead and share the screen. And again, you guys, any comments you want to make or any questions you have, just feel free to throw them up there and we will try and pay attention and get to them at some point. But let's go ahead. I'm going to share the screen here. Actually, what I got going on here. Let me like rearrange some stuff here because for some reason I didn't do it. See, this is what happens when you're in a hurry, you know? You don't have your stuff in order, and it's kind of lame, and I apologize.
Really?
What are you
showing them all? Have you shared the screen yet?
I haven't shared the screen yet.
Oh, okay.
Woman, do you guys hear? She thinks because it's Mother's Day that she can just talk to me in any way that she wants to, and I just don't think it's very appropriate.
Yep. Sure.
All right, just 1 second. Why don't you tell us about, real quick, what are the foods? So we're doing keto right now, which means we're not really doing hardly any carbs. We're doing pretty well on it. We both lost some weight. But we are going to Rhode Island, New England area on Tuesday for a whole week. And there will be some food that we will need to be eating.
There will be lots of food.
Tell us what the highlights are.
Okay, so it's Rhode Island. So it's the East Coast, which means seafood. Seafood is a must. We're going to have some lobster.
Okay.
Maine lobster, which is very different than West Coast lobster. Maine lobster is sweet and succulent, and they're kept to certain sizes. They're really small, so that they're made to be tender and sweet. Anyway, so definitely some lobster.
So like lobster rolls?
Lobster rolls. We're going to have, there's like chowder, New England style clam chowder.
See, I'm from Oregon, so I'm all about like Dungeness crab. Like I can sit down at a table with just a Dungeness crab and some melted butter, and that is like a whole meal right there. Like I love
clam cakes and chowder. Clam cakes are basically these little fried balls of dough that have little bits of clam in them that are fantastic.
Mm-hmm.
All the carbs. We're just going to eat all the carbs the whole week.
Yep.
There's little things called New York style or like hot wieners. Anybody from the East Coast may know what that is. It's basically
hot wieners.
They're a special type of soggy hot dog that's there's like a meat sauce and diced onions and celery salt and mustard. I don't even know how to describe this, but anyway, all of this food is fantastic, and you can't get it anywhere over here. And it's a bunch of it is stuff that she's never had.
I do plan to eat a lot of lobster.
There's going to be a lot of lobster. Also because lobster is ridiculously cheap there. You know, it's not like you're spending $30 like you would out here for a lobster roll. So yeah, I'm pretty excited. There's a type of pizza that is called party pizza, which is basically pizza. It's just dough with red sauce with
no cheese,
no toppings,
no cheese, guys.
And it's cold, on purpose.
And it's cold. What? No cheese?
I don't know how to describe this stuff. It's just stuff I've had my whole life, and I haven't been home in over a year.
We'll see about that.
She's trying everything. I'm telling you.
I am going to try everything. All right, so we have got this. Thank you very much for
ad-libbing.
Ad-libbing a little bit. Because, normally we're very scripted guys.
Yes. All right, I don't know how to talk at all, so I don't know how we fill the dead space.
No, she doesn't. All right, I'm going to go ahead and share my screen here, and we're going to get started with one of Victoria's solds. Here we go.
Okay, this wasn't like a huge sale or anything like that, but I shared this one for a couple of reasons. This is basically a hoodie. It's a thick hoodie. It's kind of like it's like thick sweatshirt material. It was, Sherpa lined. That's a crappy picture. Wow, that is too. Man, sorry about the crappy photos. I guess they were out of, listen, when I look at them small, I can't necessarily tell that they're out of. So it had a little hole in the shoulder. Anyway, I paid $7 for it. People talk about, oh, should I sell this because it's off season? It's about to be summertime and it's heavy and it's winter. No, keep everything up year round. This just sold for $58, $59. I paid $7 for it. I've had it sitting there for a few months. It's on sale. I'm running a 27% off sale right now. But it just sold. First of all, because it was heavyweight, but second, I want people to recognize this brand, Metal Militia. Metal Militia is a good brand. If you find it, pick it up. You're going to sell everything that I've sold every single thing I've ever purchased.
Yeah. And I've seen it like on a lot of like motocross stuff, and it's very much like kind of in that.
It's just like, it's a rocker, like the
rocker, not
like the Affliction type of thing, but not quite. This is a little bit more heavy.
I've never seen a sweatshirt for it, but I've flipped jerseys frequently. Like they'll do like basketball jerseys. It's just I've done like,
it's kind of like a little hardcore, maybe a parkour type of brand.
Yeah. So,
and as Cheryl says, wedding pizza. Yeah, I mean, you may call it wedding pizza where you're from. We call it party pizza. Very close. Yeah.
Weird. You guys are just weird.
It's good.
That's like in some places in the country, they call a convenience store a party store. Do they call it that over?
No, but we have liquor. We have liquor stores. We call them package stores. Packy.
That's funny.
Packy.
All right. So the first one I'm going to share is this bomber jacket. This is an 80s Golden Bear goatskin leather bomber jacket. This is a really nice jacket. It probably had like a snap-on like faux fur collar at one point. It did not have that when I found it. I've had this for a little while. I actually had this. I actually sold this once already, and it was returned. I think it didn't fit them the way they wanted it to. And I priced it a little bit higher, and I did sell it for higher. So this style of bomber jacket, notice that it's got like the ribbing around the bottom and on the sleeves. This kind of bomber jacket, like the leather vintage, is very, very popular, and it goes for quite a bit. And Golden Bear is a really good brand. It's out of California. And so if you see that Golden Bear brand, but really if you ever see any style, any brand of like actual leather bomber jacket in this style that is vintage, it's probably going to sell for a decent amount. And so this one I actually sold for basically $210, of course, free shipping. I think it actually went to California. So it was, super cheap.
$7 shipping.
Yeah, super cheap to ship. Oh, Jessica says, happy Mother's Day. Victoria, you look gorgeous. Fancy schmancy girls today.
Why, thank you, Jessica.
Now, Jessica's the one that sent us the box of shirts. Oh. So thank you again, Jessica. And I also saw Michael said earlier that he is starting keto tomorrow. Hopes it works. I actually really like it so far. There's certainly things that you can't have, but a lot of the stuff that you can have is delicious.
Yeah, I mean, I've only lost about 5 pounds in the past. It's been almost 3 weeks. Katie's lost over 15. But I only have, maybe about 10 more to go. So I think the more that you have to lose, then the greater percentage of loss that you're looking for. I did a big, huge diet thing last year, and I was just trying to get off that 10 pounds. So I'm pretty happy with 5 pounds in a couple weeks, and I don't feel restricted. So
yeah, I like the food, and I've been making some yummy stuff lately.
She has been. She needs to take over the cooking all the time because
apparently
she's really good at it.
All right, so the next one I have, like I said, I have a few extra this time, so I wanted to show this one. I want to show this because, okay, guys, I do not, just like I don't do pants, I also don't really buy Hawaiian shirts anymore, button-down shirts for the most part. Very rarely I will pick one up because it's like this one that is just absolutely hideous. As you can see, it's like photographs on it. It's like photographs, I'm assuming, of Hawaii all over on it. It is just it's really like polyester. It's got the 70s collar on it. It
was kind of that gross feeling polyester too.
Oh yeah,
it was like almost satiny, like it's gonna stick to your skin and you're gonna sweat in it.
It's the real deal 70s thing, and it's got the you can see right here, this is called a loop collar, so just so you know, for the future and keywords and stuff like that. So I did buy this. I think I got it just before I moved here from Oregon. Liberty House is a really good brand as far as stuff that usually sells for a good decent amount. I'm assuming it was made in Hawaii. Yeah, so I sold this for $77.99, and then they paid shipping, and I can't remember where it went, but it did not. It went somewhere
outside of the U.S.
Outside the U.S.
I think Australia.
They paid like 90 something for it to get this shirt. So yeah, so definitely this is a case where ugly matters. Anytime you see something that looks pretty rough, design-wise,
I always buy ugly.
Maybe don't always. I wouldn't necessarily say always buy it, but I would say check it out. Maybe look it up. See if it's worth getting.
Sells. I like ugly.
But man, this is
that's a rough looking one.
This is a beauty. But anyway, yeah, got like over $90 for it. So, all right, next one for Victoria.
Oh, I just talked about this one. I think it was about 2 weeks ago. I picked this up at Savers when Lorna was here visiting. So I paid $5 for it. It was basically contents were all new inside. They had not been opened, but the box was a little bit chocolate. The box was a little bit messed up, but the content, everything's still plastic wrapped. Like that's plastic all around the thing. But look, the box is a little bit Anyway, this is Mall Madness 90s, the 2004 version, I believe, not the 90s version. Anyway, it sold for $88 today, and it is going somewhere not too far. So it's probably gonna be not that bad to ship. If worst case scenario, it's gonna go in a flat rate, large flat rate, box.
Very, very cool. All right, I'm gonna jump to my next one. If any of you guys watched the vintage T-shirt haul video I did, it was an unboxing video I did a couple weeks ago. I ordered a mystery box on eBay and I think I got like 25, I don't remember how many exactly, something like 25 to 30 vintage T-shirts, and one of them was this Jesus shirt. So I didn't sell it for a ton. I took an offer for $26, but I think when I went through that box, I pretty much said, I wanted to sell everything from $25 to $30. That's kind of like where most of my regular T-shirts I plan to sell them for. And what's cool about this one is, there you can see it's got the single stitch. What was cool about this one is it was actually bought by somebody in Canada. So I took the offer for $26, and then they paid another $10, I think, or $11 to ship it. So had I sold it here in the US, I would have had to take that $26 and spend like $4 on it, $3 or $4 on it to ship it. In this case, they paid shipping, plus I made an extra $1 or $2 because I do get the shipping discount through eBay. So I was pretty stoked, but this is the first T-shirt to sell out of that lot of T-shirts. I think I have all of them listed now, but this was the first one. So, yep.
So we've got a couple of new watchers today. Cool Hand Sook. I'm going to assume that's Sook because it rhymes, Cool Hand Luke. That's pretty cool. Readings. And T Roads, you offer free shipping, so you have to pay international shipping if someone outside of the U.S. buys from you. No, with free shipping domestic. So we offer, she and I both offer free shipping to U.S. Buyers, and then international buyers pay
the shipping.
Yeah, they pay the shipping based on, weight and destination.
Because the thing about free shipping is that domestically, it has become an expectation for a lot of people, especially with using Amazon, stuff like that, that they will get free shipping. And so people, it's just kind of a draw. So a lot of times, like on eBay, people might click the little box for free shipping, and then they're only going to look at listings that offer free shipping. So it really is best practice, especially with lighter items like T-shirts and stuff like that, that you don't cost too much to ship, to just build the cost of shipping into your price. So people are getting it with quote unquote free shipping, even though it's not really free since it is built into the price.
All about perception.
But internationally, there is no expectation for free shipping. People know that they have to pay to have their stuff shipped. It's not going to like, I don't even know if you can offer free shipping. I guess you could offer free shipping domestically, but
I suppose there's a way to do that.
I don't think
it would just cost you so much it's not worth it.
Yeah, nobody does that. So actually international sales to me are much better because you actually make more money that way.
Right. And you're not paying final value fees on shipping because you offered free shipping domestic, and that's what you pay your final value fees based on.
Jess PR is also a newbie and loves our videos, and it is Cool Hand Souk, says you got it. Okay, so real quick, I had another t-shirt that sold. Now, if you guys remember it was like a while ago, we had gone to garage sales, and I asked a guy about t-shirts, and he happened to have some more stuff inside his house. He brought them out, and he's like, here's some beat up old grungy t-shirts. You can have them for $1 each, and it was 2 Pearl Jam shirts. I sold the first one a week or 2 ago. I can't remember. Did I sell it for
last
like
week? You
90
about it.
Or
yep, 90.
I think it was 90. And this is the second one that I sold. And as you can see, it's got holes. It's super faded. I think the other one had like bleach marks on it. It's
what I would call roached out.
Yeah, pretty worn down. Got lots of spots on it. Anyway, I sold this one as well. This time I sold for $72. So
nice.
I got that out of the way. All right, next one for you.
Okay, so next one for me. This is kind of funny. So this is a super heavy aluminum cooler. And I love this piece. I picked it up at a garage sale maybe a month ago for $10. And I knew I was pricing it high. They all sell around this price range, but a lot of people are using calculated shipping. And because it's so heavy, that calculated shipping coast to coast looks huge. So like if somebody were to look at this on the East Coast, the shipping would have looked like it was like $65 or $70. I don't know about you, but that would turn me off as a buyer. So I basically built in shipping based on something like that, thinking I was going to get net probably around 75 on this or so. So it sold for one, and obviously you can see my condition photos are pretty detailed.
Yeah.
It's not in great condition, but it's from the 50s, and glamping is a thing, and that whole mid-century thing is pretty popular. So it sold for $124, and initially it was purchased by someone in New York City or in the New York City area, and the shipping was going to be $55 using FedEx I was going to use FedEx. So it was $55. About an hour after purchase, they sent me a message and said, hey, would you mind shipping this to my California address instead? Oh, heck no, I don't mind that. So the shipping went from $55 to $18. So this was a much better sale than I had originally thought. So anyway, sold for $125. I paid $10, and it cost me $18 to ship it. Wrapped some pool noodles around the edges and around the handle so it didn't get dented, and put it in a box, and off it went. And that went priority because it was going to California, which is right next door.
All right, Cool Hand Souk says Souk is a marketer bazaar in Arabian countries, and they're movie buffs. So yes, Cool Hand Luke.
Nice.
So
good guess, I guess.
All right. So the next one I have, so I wanted to show this one because we have talked about this before, about the Fox Racing Sasquatch hoodie. I'll show you the tag really quick. So this was it's Fox Racing Sasquatch hoodie. And the thing about these hoodies is they're extra heavy. They
spell hoodie weird.
Yeah, they spell with a Y. And so it's extra heavy. It's got like this faux Sherpa shearling like lining. So they're super warm. And for whatever reason, again, this is something like at some point a couple years ago, I found my first one at the bins, paid a couple bucks for it, didn't know anything about it. I didn't even know what I was doing at that point. And I ended up selling it for like $80. And I realized like, wow, like for some reason, these particular hoodies are super desirable. And so this one, I mean, look at this. It's got like bleach stains on the sleeve. It's faded. You can see it's like got some kind of discoloration right here. It's a pretty plain design. And plus it's a medium, and some people like shy away from buying like smalls or mediums, which I never do. Sometimes they take a little bit longer to sell, but I don't really care if it's a smaller size. But I sold this one for $84. And here's the thing, it actually went to, I believe, Australia.
Oh.
And so I got $84, but then I also got something like, I think they paid like $35 for the shipping, which it ended up costing me like, I think it's like $30 to ship with the discount. So I made an extra $5 on it. And again, if I would have sold this domestically, I would have had to pay for the shipping. So,
and that would not fit in a priority flat rate.
No, it would not fit. No, they're pretty
super
thick. They're pretty thick. So I probably would have ended up squishing it down into a shoebox.
A flat rate.
And I would have done it cubic. I would have done it cubic. Yeah. So again, you guys, let's look at this tag one more time. Please.
They don't always say hoodie, but they always say Sasquatch.
If it says Sasquatch, you'll see how it's like a big, here, let me show you the picture further away. See how big that patch is, that tag is on the back? Really pay attention for these, because every time I have one, I sell it for minimum $80.
And they have different pictures on them. Sometimes, that picture in the back may not be what it looks like, but it will always say the word Sasquatch.
Christiane says that she still hasn't sold her Sasquatch. What is happening?
You will. It's a small. I think it was a small.
Yeah, it was a small, but it'll sell.
It'll sell.
And then I think the next one's you.
Yeah. So this is my last one that I'm going to talk about. And again, last week we talked about shoes. This is something I picked up a couple of weeks ago. This is another pair of the John Varvatos. Again, crappy picture. I'm sorry.
Focus, woman.
I know. Geez, I'm taking them too fast, I guess. I don't know if this was me or Dana. Sorry, I'm not gonna say, and I'm not sure which one this was. This was probably me. Anyway, this is another pair of boots. I picked these up for $8 at Savers. I love this brand. They sold for, I've had a few offers, a few lowball offers, $150 or so, and I turned them down or counter offered, and then they sold for full sale price, which was $200 and, can you close it for a second?
Yeah.
$218, basically $220. And again, I'll do free shipping on these. They sold to California. They're going to go in a little box for a little over $7.
Don't you love it selling things to California?
I love it.
Yeah, it's really nice because California.
I don't have to worry about, worrying about cubic or whether it's going to fit in a flat rate or a, regional, just straight priority when it's California because it doesn't make a much of a difference.
Yeah, we're really lucky to be located where we are because California has such a huge population. Now, with that said, New York also has a very large population. So almost as often as I sell to California, I sell to New York. So
exactly.
A lot of times it works against me, but a lot of my stuff goes first class or I'm able to fit it in padded flat rates. So I don't have to worry about it. What are you pointing at?
I'm pointing at, we've got Jimmy Boy in the house over here. James Haas.
Oh, hey, James. Yeah, so most of my stuff, because I'm able to do it in the flat rate or in first class, it's okay. But every once in a while you have something that's a little bit heavier. And so, but in that case, cubic priority has saved me a bunch of times. So if you guys, again, I have videos about it, but if you're not using,
it saved me like $10 on a package the other day.
If you're not using cubic priority, you really should be. They offer it on, is it called Ship Pirate?
Pirate Ship.
Sorry,
for free.
You can use Pirate Ship. I use Fit Shipper. I do pay $5 a month for that, but it comes with a lot of features that I really like that work for me. I'm trying to think if there's probably other services that also do cubic priority. For some reason, eBay does not. I'm really hoping that they add it eventually. But yeah, if you ship a lot of stuff, you really should be looking into cubic priority shipping because for certain items, and again, you can go back and like look at the video that I did. It's just about cubic priority shipping. For specific items, it is going to save you a ton of money. So you need to at least know what it is and what you can use it for.
I'm with you, Cheryl. Nevada to Florida is not fun. So I get it. Nevada to Florida, Nevada to New York, anything, Nevada, anywhere to the East Coast is rough shipping wise.
Yeah.
But, it's cost of doing business.
Absolutely. And that's the thing. It's like we know that like in times where we ship to California, we end up saving a ton of money. And so every once in a while, we're going to have to pay more. And it's just the way it is. It all evens out. Okay, so the last one I wanted to show you guys, this is one that I showed last week as well. So this is the FUBU jerseys.
Oh, you just listed that.
I just listed it. So now the FUBU, if you remember me talking about it last week, it is one of those brands that's kind of like, it's actually like late 90s, early 2000s. It's kind of early to mid 2000s. This style is kind of slipping away. It's kind of going away a little bit. So a lot of like the FUBU stuff, like the platinum FUBU and stuff like that, there is a lot of it out there that just doesn't move very quickly. But I have found with the FUBU jerseys like this, especially with a good size and good graphics, they do tend to sell a lot more.
What was
quickly.
that, a 3XL or 4XL?
Oh, it's like a 3XL, I think. Yeah, so it's a really, really good size. So anyway, this I sold for $60. So I feel like I might have, or did I sell it out of the country? I can't remember, but I know, no, I don't think so. Anyway, so yeah, so that's it for our solds, guys. So with the FUBU, you gotta, there's certain things that do sell well and certain things that don't. So it's one of those ones that you can't necessarily depend on just the brand. You kind of have to know a little bit more nuance and stuff like that. Yeah. All right, stop and screen share. I have to do another intervention.
What?
Your pen is being taken away from you. Wilma's Clicky McClickerson over here.
Seriously?
This doesn't make for good television.
I'm being chastised. Fine. All right. Anyway. Time to get into the haul part of the haul video.
Yes. Let's get on it. And if anybody has any questions, again, just go ahead and ask us.
Do you see how she talks to me? Rude.
Very, very rude. We've had a lot of good stuff this week. We went, you went sourcing. You went to one of the Savers by yourself one day.
I did.
I thought she died. She was gone for hours. And
listen, I just wanted to get out of the house. Seriously, don't you ever just want to get out of the house? But I went sourcing. I tend to take at least 2 hours in a store when I go. I go by myself. I'm very methodic because I sell something in just about every single category except kids. That means I'm looking in every single category. So it takes me a good hour and a half to 2 hours to really comb through a store.
Takes me like 25 minutes.
Yeah, and I happened to go to the one Savers that actually has a bins section as well. So I was like, it's going to take me a while. I was there for 2.5 hours, but I did go to the bins part first. And I don't go to, I don't go with her all the time because I really like to sell menswear and men's clothing too. And that because that's all she sells. When we go into a store, I kind of let her go and take off in the men's section. And I don't really go near there. I kind of stick to women's and housewares and all that other kind of stuff. So when I go alone, at least I get to conquer the men's section. So
yeah, so she went to Savers by herself one day, and then I went out alone and didn't do super great. I found some cool stuff, but if you saw my sourcing video, the first part of it is me being like super Savers fatigued. And then, but I did hit Buffalo Exchange as well. And then the next morning we went and did yard sales together, which was fun. And then yesterday we happened to be in the right, like near another Savers that we hadn't gone to this week. So we went ahead and ran in there. So that's kind of like what we did this week. But real quick, Michael wants to know, do you show measurements and pictures or just listen to the descriptions? Let me show you really quick. I can actually show you because it shows up on here.
And it's a sponsor of
it's a sponsor of our Boss Up and List live show on Wednesdays, Sizely. I actually put measurements in my pictures, and I've been doing this for a couple of years. I like the way it shows exactly where I'm measuring at. And I, with something like a t-shirt, like this jersey, that's not going to be a full sleeve. I just do the length and the chest across. Vicky is just now getting started using the same method, but up until now, I think she just has it in her description. Yeah. So she has chest length. So yeah, that's how I do it. I'm going to go ahead and stop this and let's go back to your first find.
My first find. Okay. So
Dana's in the house. Sorry to interrupt. Dana's in the house.
See, interrupts me, the way she talks to me. I don't think this is going to last very long. I don't know. But
no, probably not.
I think it's doomed.
It's true.
Okay, so I picked this up at Savers on 25% off day. It was priced at $10.99. This is a vintage Fisher Price. He's still new in the box, even though the box is a little bit, messed up. It's vintage 1983. You can see this little clown. It's one of those little toys that teaches kids how to, use a button and a snap and tie a bow and all that kind of stuff. I think I know I had one similar to this growing up, but definitely not the clown because I've always hated clowns. But in any case, this sells for in the neighborhood of $75 or so. So I'm going to list it probably for around 100. There's not very many, and there are very few that are new. So used ones sell for about 50.
Don't you think it's like a little weird that he has toes but no fingers?
How do you know he has toes?
Because you're supposed to count his toes. Here, look, you guys. Let me show you. See this? See the toes? He's got toes. You're supposed to count the toes. But he has no fingers. What's up with that? I think there's something real wrong here.
All right, you're crinkling. Anyway, so I got that. And then I'll do two things at a time. Then you can do yours. And again, like I said, I shop from every department. Okay, the other thing I got was another thing, same day. This is not going to be added to our home decor. This is made by Gemmy, Gemmy. He is an animated singing. It's not working yet. I didn't try it on. I didn't put any batteries in it yet. But it's an animated singing like Christmas reindeer moose thing. Anyway, it hangs on the wall, or it has a little kickstand. This I paid, it was the same price, so it was 25% off of $10.99. And I'm going to list this for about 100. They sell for around 75 or so.
Crazy.
So that's fine too. You do too?
Okay, so when we were out thrifting, or not thrifting, when we were out at yard sales, we went to this one yard sale. They had tons and tons of awesome stuff. But I will say I came in and I saw hanging up behind the woman that was running the sale was there were a whole bunch of jerseys. Except the only problem was she was sitting directly beneath them smoking a cigarette.
Ugh.
And I was like, oh man,
they're going to reek.
Now, here's the thing. There's ways to deal with that. Well, you know, obviously you can wash them. OxyClean. If it's something that's new with tags, you can lay it out in the sun. What I'll do with those is I'll get a little bit of Febreze and I'll put it out in the full sun for a couple of days, really. And that usually takes care of it. But I was just like, oh, seriously, come on. Especially because yard sales, it's like, sometimes it's hard to find men's clothing. And so I was super excited. I'm like, great, whatever. But anyway, so they had jerseys. Only a couple of them were worth getting, but I paid $10 for each of them. Luckily, I got them home. I smelled them today. They don't smell like cigarettes at all. I don't know how that's even possible.
I don't know. Maybe it was a fake cigarette she was smoking. I don't know.
It was a real cigarette.
I don't remember her smoking.
It was a real cigarette. And it was right.
I was focused on the other part.
Anyway, so I got two jerseys. One of them is a Minnesota Vikings. This is a Reebok on-field replica jersey. And with these jerseys, with any jerseys, it's always better when the size is a number as opposed to like an XL or a large or whatever. But I believe the numbers means it's more of like a replica of like their on-field jersey. This one is Peterson. I don't know anything about football, guys.
But Brenda Pendleton was at our house the other day, and she, because she was here, her and Jerry were here in town doing some thrifting of their own, and she knew exactly who.
Yeah, she was really excited.
Like she's like, oh my god, whatever the guy's first name was, she knew who it was right away.
Yeah, but I can see like the quality of it's really nice. You know, when you see it's stitched or sewn as opposed to being iron on. So it's a really nice jersey, good size. This one, I looked up, there are quite a few comps out there. I would say a lot of people really undersell this stuff, like they price it too low. I saw a couple had gone for under auction for only like $15. And let me tell you guys, if there is something where there are multiples of the exact same thing out there, do not do an auction. You're never going to get top dollar for an auction. You're much better off having a superior listing to everybody else with better policies, better pictures, all those things. Like I think I can get about $60 for this. I've seen these sell for 20. But I think I can get 60 and I will keep you guys posted when it does sell. But seriously, what are you doing auctioning off something when you're not the only option out there? Yeah,
fairly common.
No,
not auction items.
No.
Not unless you're trying to throw stuff away for pennies. I mean, I guess you could.
I don't get it. You end up
maybe
selling
you're only working on a
cheap.
10% profit margin. I don't know.
Yeah. So I was excited about that one. I think it's pretty good jersey. Now this one is interesting because this is not a specific player. It's new with tags. I didn't even realize it was new with tags when I got it. But this is a New Jersey Devils. It is a hockey jersey, and as you can see, this is actually signed, and it says to Kevin, welcome home, all the best, and it has a signature and it says the number 23. I had to do a little work. I had to go and look at the history of the number 23 with New Jersey Devils and compare signatures, and I was able to identify this is Scott Gomez, who played with the Devils, I think between like 2000 and 2007, something like that. I think he's with another team now. But anyway, this is, if you look at the tags, it says it is a replica pro player, so it should be a replica of the kind of jersey that they were wearing back then. Again, it's not player specific, but it's signed by Scott Gomez. I looked up, there aren't any like comps on eBay right now, but I was able to look up on WorthPoint at past comps from a few years ago. Signed stuff by him. I mean, the only problem is the ones I looked at had like his numbers on it and his signature, but the signed stuff by him is gone for a few $100s. I don't really know, especially I'm not sure about like when it's personalized to somebody. Of course, I made the joke that like, you know, maybe it's Kevin Smith that it was personalized to, because Kevin Smith is from New Jersey, and his favorite team. He's a big hockey fan.
And wears
this
jerseys.
Is the director. All he ever does is wear jerseys. His favorite team, of course, is the New Jersey Devils because he's from New Jersey. Of course, this is a little bit small for him, but who knows? Maybe it could have been a gift
for him anymore.
Yeah, he has lost a lot of weight, but it could have been a gift to him. Come on. You never know. I don't know. What do you guys think? Does it matter when it's personalized to a specific person?
I think it hurts the value. And almost everything else. I don't know about jerseys specifically, but it hurts the value a little bit.
Unless your name is Kevin, and then you're going to be like,
that it's fantastic.
Right? Right?
It's a pretty common name. At least it's not like, I don't know.
Yes, and Michael says hockey people will call it a sweater also. Yeah, when I was doing the research, it was like history of sweater numbers, or, you could go through and you could see every player that played under that number. So, yes. Yeah. Thanks, Michael. They do call it a sweater.
And Cool Hand Soup, will you list the football jersey right away? Yes, everything gets listed.
Yeah, everything should all be. Now, I'm going to try and get all the pictures done today and tomorrow because we are leaving on Tuesday. So we're hoping to get like tons and tons of pictures and measurements and stuff done so that we can do a little bit of listing while we're away so we can keep things active. But
yeah, today and tomorrow we're going to be pretty quiet online.
Yeah, so I should get this listed in the next few days, hopefully. All right. You want to go ahead?
Sure. Well, since we're doing jerseys, I mean, this is the one time where I actually found a jersey at a garage sale that Katie did not. So this is where it pays to dig. We were at this garage sale. It didn't look like there was a whole heck of a lot there, but I saw this little thing sticking out of the corner of a bag. It was stuffed in a bag. It could have been a kid's jersey. It could have been a kid's baseball shirt. It didn't matter. So I got this Green Bay Brett Favre Super Bowl specific jersey in a
Super Bowl champs.
Super Bowl champs. It's a throwback jersey in very good condition. It's Mitchell & Ness, which is a popular brand. I paid $1.
Ridiculous, you guys.
There is one other one listed for $200 right now, and a few have sold in the 150 plus neighborhood. So I'm going to list it for $200, just like the other person. And I paid $1.
Nice. Okay, so it just clicked in my head why. Who was it that asked about? Yes, Cool Hand Soup asking about listing football jerseys. I'm assuming that you asked that question because it is no longer football season, and maybe that's why you're asking if we'll list it right away.
Yeah, that's why I said all times. We list everything right away at all.
Right, but I wanted to get a little bit deeper into that. It didn't click for me, so I'm obviously slower than Victoria.
You said it.
But I don't do anything seasonally. Whatever I find that I know sells well, I will buy it, I will list it, I will sell it. Maybe during certain times of the year, some things will go faster than other things. But I mean, you're either a huge fan, football fan, or you're not. And while things might go a little bit more quickly when football season starts up again, I'm not going to hesitate. I'm not going to wait. I'd rather have everything out there at all times. So I don't worry. I don't think about
list stuff high and know that, certain times of the year, certain things are going to sell better, probably. Winter clothing may sell a little bit better in the winter. So I just list it high. Summertime, I'll list it high. If I've got to sit on it till fall or winter, I don't care. Yeah. I'm not going to list it at half the price just so I can get rid of it fast.
I sell tons of jackets throughout the summer.
Yeah.
Tons.
It's always winter somewhere. And we sell all over the world.
So. I just sold a 49ers jacket for like $150 to somebody in Australia because I believe in Australia it is fall right now. So
I don't know. I guess I'd have to look that up. I'm sorry. I'm so ignorant. I have no idea.
No, I think Linda Painter said she's the one.
I think she said it's, right?
She said something about it is fall there right now. So yeah. So if you're selling internationally, then it shouldn't matter.
All right. So one more thing. I'll do one more thing and then Katie can do her too. This was another find at a garage sale. This is a vintage, true Scottish kilt. And it has like a leather straps. It is vintage. It's made in Scotland. It's made at a specific kilt maker shop. I paid $1.
Ridiculous.
And I'm going to list this for about 75 to 100. It's a good size. It's a true Scottish kilt, a man's kilt. It's wool. It's very nice.
And what's that plaid called?
Tartan.
Tartan plaid.
Tartan plaid. It's in excellent condition, even though it's vintage. The pleats are fantastic. Someone probably purchased it as a uniform or a costume, specific, international costume, or maybe they wore it in a wedding, or maybe they bought it when they're on vacation in Scotland. Who knows? But it was made in the 60s. And I doubt it has been worn since. There's, I was just going to say, there's one tiny moth hole in one of the pleats.
Christiane says, if it's not Scottish, it's crap.
I say that all the time.
And One Witch Lady says, yes, it is fall in Australia. And let me tell you, if you're doing international sales, I would say my three most, like Australia, UK, and Canada are my three most popular destinations for sales.
Yes.
So,
and yes, Dana House of Rocks, it's crap. That's right.
That's how I said it.
All
right. Okay. So next thing I have, I'm going to show these shoes. So these are some Jordans that I got at a garage sale. They actually had a few pairs of Jordans there. Now the reason I want to show these is I by no means am an expert in shoes. I can't go into a thrift store and see a pair of shoes from across the room and be like, oh my goodness, can't believe that $200 pair of Nikes are over there. Here's the thing. There are so many different kinds of Nikes. There's so many different kinds of Jordans, and a lot of them aren't really worth that much. And honestly, I don't know the difference between most of them. But that's where I'm going to go again, and I'm going to show you guys the same thing I've shown before, is how to identify them. And also, this also helps you to authenticate them, because there are, with certain shoes that are higher value, they do get fakes. Like you will find fakes out there, and Jordans are one that are highly faked. Because some of them are worth a lot more money. This particular pair came out in 2012. And again, you want to look at you can see right under where it says UK 11, that 6-digit number followed by a dash, followed by a 3-digit number. The 6-digit number is going to tell you what kind of shoe it is, and the 3-digit number after is going to be your colorway. And so if you look that up, you can look it up in eBay. Some sellers do put it in their titles, or you can just Google it in general to identify the name of the shoe so that you can more easily search it in eBay. If you look that number up and it's like the exact same shoe and you can see the colors are the same and everything, that's a pretty good tell that it's the right shoe. So this one, it's not like a crazy expensive or crazy valuable.
Get the dirty shoe out.
No, I can't do that.
Jeez.
Nope.
Good Lord.
It's not a crazy valuable one, but this particular one I should be able to sell. I'll clean them up a little bit, probably for like $70. And I think I paid.
They're like a hideous Ghostbuster slime green too.
I think they're awesome. I think I paid like $15 for them, but I should be able to sell them for like $70, $75. So again, they're not like a super collectible one, but they are a decent one. And like I said, there's tons of Nikes out there that are overproduced. Tons of Jordans that are overproduced that aren't really worth much of anything. So you got that number, look it up, use it. It's going to tell you every time. Are you taking notes for yourself over there?
I'm taking notes because someone said that it was black watch, tartan plaid, but they couldn't tell by the screen. So I'm going to go look up that. I would have looked it up anyway, but that'll save me some time if that's what it is.
All right, that's cool.
I'll
yeah, it's like that
kind
of traditional blue-green tartan plaid. It's very cool. Okay, next thing I got a couple here, but they kind of go together, similar themes. First of all, I've got this Columbia jacket. I got this at one of the savers I went to. This is like a soft shell Columbia jacket. Of course, Columbia is a nice brand out of Oregon, if I do say so. But then on the back, you can see it's got embroidered on it in Microsoft. And on the sleeve, it says Worldwide Commercial Business. Now, something like this, I paid, it was $12. I got it for 25% off because I got it on Thursday. Or no, actually, it was 20% off. I did not get this on Thursday. Anyway, this one, I mean, I should be able to sell it for $50,
50, 60.
But I always grab stuff that has like software, like tech companies
Google,
on it.
Microsoft, Apple. I sell stuff like that all day long.
Yeah, I always like to grab this stuff because there are people who are like, either they work for them or they're just hardcore fans or whatever. I think it does really well.
Computer geeks love clothes.
Exactly. And so then plus it's Columbia. It's a really good brand. And so then along with that, look at this, guys. I got a sweet polo here. And this has stitched on it IBM Global Services.
Oh, and look at that. This is so 80s.
It's got the little, and I don't know if this is actually vintage. It might just be like a retro thing. I'll have to look it up. Global Services, I don't know. But still,
nice checkerboard
I always pick
sleeves.
stuff like this up. It was $5.99, 20% off of that.
Ew.
Look at that face.
Ew. Go away.
All right, you're next.
Okay. So another garage sale on Friday, we went to, and I'm going to save the real good stuff about it because Katie ended up getting the score of the week at this garage sale.
We'll I hope so.
But this particular person was a local stock car racer, and we didn't know this going into the garage sale. I just heard people talking and realized it while we were in there. But one of the things that I picked up, and I paid $3 for this, I believe, is a kid's racing suit. It's not super vintage. It looks like it is, but it's like 2004, 2005. It is a flame retardant racing suit for go-kart or stock car racing for children.
It's cute.
It's cute, but it's also more than the fact that it's cute. I paid $3 and it's worth about $100.
Mm-hmm.
So we do not want those kids to light on fire, apparently, when they're downhill go-kart racing or stock car racing.
Yeah, seriously.
But it looks, I mean, it's obviously been worn and used and looks like it's worn and used, but it's, I mean, it was a really good price. It looked vintage. That's why I grabbed it, but it's not.
Mm-hmm. That sale had like a ton of good stuff.
So much
They
stuff.
had a crazy amount of hockey gear because I don't know if like maybe they had a kid who played hockey or ice hockey or something like that.
It was a huge house.
I saw they had like some ice skates
thing.
and they had like all kinds of hockey gear. I don't sell that kind of stuff, so I didn't look at it. But for somebody who probably knows what they're looking for, it's all kinds of padding and equipment and stuff like that.
Okay. Let's see. One more thing. Sorry, not trying to make noise. Jeez, this whole ticked about the noise.
Only when there's other things going on.
All right.
Make all the noise you want when you are showing your stuff.
So this is just a black satin bomber jacket made by the company called Averex, A-V-I-R-E-X. They are a well-known bomber jacket making company. They make leather. They make satin like this. They make them for the military. They're military grade, but they do also sell domestic to, commercially to the public. This is a reversible. It's a black satin. And then on the other side is kind of it's a camo and it has a little print on it. It feels like it's not new, I guess, but it feels darn close to being new. It may not have been worn very much at all, but I paid $7.99 and it was 25% off of that. I'm going to list it and sell it for around $100 or so.
It's nice.
It's reversible. It's a good size. So I have that. I'll do one more and then you can let me just grab this one. Okay. Okay. This is a vintage jacket. I paid up a little bit for this. I paid 25% off of, the price was $15.99, if we can see that.
Yep.
This is a vintage jacket made by a company called Refrigiware. Like it was something that people would wear when they were working in refrigerated trucks or working in a freezer or what have you.
I've sold that brand a few times before.
It's this big, bulky outside jacket with a faux fur collar. I'm going to guess that it has care instructions. So I'm going to guess this is early 70s, late 60s, early 70s. But this one is for a grocery store chain.
Mm-hmm. Stater Bros.
Stater Brothers. I don't know where that is.
I don't know. I think it's in California.
I think it's a California chain, but I'm not sure. But anyway, I paid whatever. It was 25% off of $15.99.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to list it for around $100 and see what happens. I thought it was kind of cool.
Hickory Springs says that you need to show your special finger again.
I don't know what you're talking about.
She is not a lady, you guys.
Okay.
All right. I'll show a couple of things. We're running out of time here.
I've got two really good ones left, so you do those. And
okay. So first of all, I'll show three things and I'll be done.
Okay.
So first of all, I've got this. It's Bethpage, which I think Bethpage is is a golf club, and this is it's made in the U.S., but it's from 2002, so not quite vintage. But look at the whole back is embroidered. U.S. Open, Bethpage Black, 2002. Look at that nice big American flag. So it's got just tons of embroidery on it. And so this is, from golfing and whatnot. I don't know how much golfing and whatnot. I paid $6.99 and it was 20% off of that because it was not 25% off day. But but anytime I see something that's got like tons of embroidery like this, especially American flag type stuff, it's going to go pretty well. I feel like I could probably get $50 to $60 out of this. So I was excited to find that. let's see. The next thing I'll show you is this. I believe I got on when we were out doing yard sales. This is a nice heavy wool and leather Letterman's jacket, varsity jacket. It is a Jack Daniels. It's Jack Daniels, old number 7. It's actually Jack Daniels branded. So you see the tag itself says Jack Daniels. And then it also, on the other side, it says Double Diamond Saloon, Las Vegas. That's on the other side. So this is a really nice heavy jacket. I don't really know much about like the Double Diamond Saloon or what that kind of stuff goes for, but it is a nice Jack Daniels. And a lot of times it's like alcohol branded stuff does well if it's like a really nice quality jacket. And like I said, this is leather and wool. So it is really nice and heavy. I don't even know what I think I paid $10 for it. I think because the guy had like a thing on that he had some stuff priced, and this one he just said make an offer. So I just offered $10 because I felt like that wasn't super insulting and it was like a decent enough price. So I'm gonna have to research this some more, but I would think I can at least get I'm hoping like 80.
Yeah, I mean, to be clear, when we come here and we're showing our haul video, we have usually not researched anything or barely researched it.
Yeah.
So these are our guesstimates, and sometimes things are going to go higher, and sometimes things are going to go a little bit lower. But we're pretty good when we pretty much know what something's going to sell for when we buy it.
Yeah, for the most part.
For the most part. So.
Yeah, and my process is I don't do my research until I'm actually listing. So I've already photographed, I've already taken my measurements, and I'm sitting down and I'm doing the listing, and then I research it because I already know, like in general, that what I probably want to sell it for. Vicky has a little bit different. She likes to research the second she comes home because she's too excited.
Have stopped doing that mostly because I've been buying so much lately that I've been researching it as I go.
Yeah, which is I think is a better way to do it personally, because I think you end up having to go back and look
you end up doing it twice.
Anyway.
Well, I used to research as everything came in. I used to put a price on everything. I don't do that anymore. So yeah, so that would be the difference. I used to bring everything into the house. I'd pull it out of the bag. I'd research it. I'd put a price and some keywords on it, and then it would be ready for when I listed it. I don't do that anymore, so there's no point in me researching it first. Sometimes I do. If I've got something really cool, I'm going to research because I'm just curious. But yeah, I've changed it a little bit.
Okay.
I'm trying to streamline it.
Michael says it's a golf course in Long Island, New York.
All right, good to know.
Let's see. Donna Thrift says that she loves the color of your hair.
Oh, thank you. This is the color. This is the color that it looks like when I first do it. I just did it yesterday, so it's really bright right now. It fades over time.
Donna,
what it looked like the other day is what it looks like at the end of 8 weeks.
Donna, are you up in the middle of the night to give Vicky compliments? I hope so. Isn't she the one she's over in Scotland, right?
Yeah.
And you're coming for open. I can't wait.
I'm excited.
Anyway, and Violet Lemon says you guys decided to get a storage unit. No, we have not yet.
Not yet. We're close.
We're real close. It's tough because
it's just such a pain in the neck to go and grab stuff for shipping is really what it is. We like to ship first thing in the morning.
I wouldn't mind so much. It's more, to me, it's more about, it would be the process of actually having to move a bunch of stuff. It's like, I hate taking time away from the regular activities of selling.
I feel like if we got a storage unit, what would go in there is our personal stuff so that we could have more room for our work stuff.
Maybe, but we don't have that much personal stuff in our storage space out there because we have it all like above. So
I know.
I don't know. We'll see. Or like, I probably would put like all of my shoes there because I have a lot of shoes. To sell, not personal. So
I don't know. We're holding off on it as long as we can.
All right.
It's getting a little tight in there.
Okay, I'm going to show my one last thing. So yeah, so we went
to 3 more when you're done.
Yeah. So we went to that sale that was the stock car driver guy. So it was this guy who retired. He was a retired electrician, which actually, I'll show you real quick. This was his jacket. He worked for Mojave Electric. His name is Jimmy. So I got this cool vintage bomber jacket I'm pretty stoked about. But anyway, his name was Jimmy Sanderson.
His name is, he's not dead.
It wasn't an estate sale for him?
It was an estate sale, but he was still alive. They were talking that he had just been in there looking at the...
Okay, so he's not dead. He's not dead. Not dead. Sorry, Jimmy, I apologize that I killed you. Anyway, so this is his estate sale, and so they had like if you watched the sourcing video I put up, I actually have a little bit of footage of like a race car that was there that was like $10,000.
I think he's just old and downsizing a huge house and a lot of junk.
Yeah, so he has retired or was a retired electrician, and back in like the 70s, early 80s, he was actually a stock car racer at this track in Las Vegas. And so I think he's known locally to people who follow that kind of stuff. And so this is actually his, she had the little kid suit. This is his full-size adult racing suit that is fire retardant. It's a special kind of like racing says race equip safety systems. Even without somebody's name on it, this would be at least what, $100, something like that.
A little more,
a little bit more. You know, again, like sometimes having somebody's name embroidered on it takes away from it. But I think in this case, because he is known at least in some regions, and there's a story behind it.
And I have his shoes.
Yeah, and she has his shoes that match this. I think that'll actually bring a little more value. So I'm hoping I'll be able to sell this for like at least $150. Now, you know me, I hate pants, guys. I hate listing pants. And what I hate even more than pants is full suits like this. But in this case, it's pretty cool. I'm going to go ahead and list this myself.
Maybe I'll give you the shoes and trade for something else. Maybe.
She might give me the shoes.
We're going to have to trade.
She might. Or she might just give them to me because she likes me a lot. She likes me.
That.
Most of the time, she likes me. Most of the time, I find stuff for you all the time.
It's true, but it's usually when we're shopping together, and I still pay for it. You just put it in my cart,
or I find it at the garage sale in the pictures, and I drive you there, like that cooler. I'm the one that found that, and I knew she would want it, so I took her there, guys. All right. Anyway, that's the last one for me.
Okay, so I have 3 more. Oh, ad lib for a second. I gotta pick them up.
Oh, now you need me to talk while you pick up.
No, that's fine. That's fine. Okay, so one thing that I got at a garage sale is this vintage little girl, American Girl doll. What did we say her name was? I think it's Molly.
Yeah.
Molly McIntyre. She is in her original meat outfit. Definitely unplayed with condition, but wherever they had her stored, there was a cat.
Lots of cat fur.
There's cat fur all over her.
She's in great condition, except for the cat
fur. She's in fantastic condition, and she's missing just her little bag. I believe her little satchel is her accessory, her satchel. But she does have this little accessory, which is a locket that was meant to go for the little girl that goes and buys the doll. But she is a pleasant company, early American Girl doll. She's not one of the older ones. Her pants are a little saggy. I'm going to clean her up a little bit, make sure her pants stop falling down, put a little pin in it.
It's embarrassing.
She's got droopy drawers.
It's embarrassing.
But I'm going to list her for about $150. I paid 10.
Very cool.
Yeah, I'm going to clean her up a little bit, but she's losing her glasses. She's a hot mess. But for $10, she's in a good place, good shape. Had she not been a pleasant American Girl doll, I still probably would have paid $10, but she wouldn't have been worth that much if she was newer. Same garage sale. I picked up this creepy looking, scary looking, matted down mohair teddy bear. They call them rubber face dolls, rubber face bears. It may or may not be rushed tin. Unfortunately, without a tag, I'm going to have to really do some research. If it's rushed tin, it's about 24 inches. It's matted and a little bit grubby. This is probably going to be a $200 plush, even in this condition. These rubber face dolls and bears and animals are highly collectible. He's
highly weird too.
Yeah,
creepy.
They're kind of creepy, but he's in excellent condition. Super great rubber face. There's no cracked and dry or eroded or like slightly waxy. None of that. So wherever it was kept it was kept.
See, Jimmy's with me. He says it's creepy.
It is kind of creepy. It was kept somewhere, dry, and you really can't wash them either. I'm not going to even try because you can't machine wash it. You can surface wash it, but that really doesn't do much. But anyway, I paid $5. I'm going to sell this in the neighborhood of $200. I'm going to do a little Rushton research and see if this is one of the Rushton faces. I can't quite tell.
Mm-hmm. What I think is really funny is at the same garage sale, this is the one where they had the vintage Viewmaster that they wanted $20 for. So you said, no thanks. But then they sold you those 2 pieces for $15 total, and you're going to make a few $100 on them.
Yeah. Well, some people think that, the vintage Viewmaster was clearly vintage, and not everybody knows what collectible things go for. Mm-hmm. This is where my little bit of knowledge about a lot of crap helped. And this is the last thing I'm going to show. I'm always buying shoes. I buy used shoes. Katie does not like used shoes. She barely, except for those Nikes she just sold, she very rarely buys used shoes. These were at the garage sale of the little stock car racer guy. So these were clearly his. But these are a special edition starter 49ers vintage high tops. Mm-hmm. I paid $5 for these. I'm going to sell them for over $100. I'm going to clean them up. But they're in really, really good shape. I'm going to take the lace. The laces are dirty. I'm going to take the laces off. I'm going to wash those by hand and do a little magic eraser and clean up the white. And integrity-wise, they're in great shape. So I'm going to sell these probably 100, 150.
Nice.
And I paid $5.
Very, very cool. Yeah, I don't know what they were thinking about. I mean, when you go back and look at like old vintage toys, a lot
They're
of them are super creepy
as stuff.
Control yourself.
They're very creepy. Old dolls, old toys in general, definitely creepy, but highly collectible. Yep. So,
all right, guys, we are just about out of time. So thank you so much for coming and watching the show today, guys. We really appreciate it. And again, remember, we are going to be in Rhode Island next week when we are doing the Sunday show next week. So please stay tuned to find out what time we'll be doing that show. You really should be joining the Boss Facebook group because you're going to be more likely to get more up-to-date information there. So please, the link is down below. Please join the Boss Facebook group. And again, on Wednesday, we will also be in Rhode Island, but we'll still be doing the Boss Up and List listing party, virtual listing party in the Boss Facebook group, and we'll still have the live show. We're just not sure that's going to be at the 11 a.m. Pacific Standard Time that it usually is. So again, join the Boss Facebook group. You're going to get more information.
We'll keep you updated.
If you're not subscribed to this channel, go ahead and subscribe. And make sure you hit the little bell notification next to it so that you are getting notifications when I put new stuff up. Again, we really appreciate you being here. Thank you for watching the show again.
Thank you for joining us on Mother's Day. And again, happy Mother's Day to all of you moms out there.
Yep. Go out there and get some listings done.
Call your mom.
Call your mom. I need to go call my mom.
I need to call my mom.
Boss up.